Hey, welcome back to the Big Ranch Show. Thank you for joining me. Now, I talked about Ukraine and Russia earlier this month, and things have only gotten worse. In the last week, Russia has just really pumped up their propaganda, pumped up their use of false flag attacks. In fact, they've even purposely detonated a car bomb to make it look as if Ukraine is the aggressor. Yesterday, I had a video all made on this topic. I was already done, I was ready to go, and I was ready to upload it. Then about the time I uploaded it, Russia and Vladimir Putin changed the story. So this is what happened yesterday. Yesterday, Vladimir Putin, the dictator of Russia, decided that he would annex, basically, 2 areas of Ukraine. Now, has he fully done that yet? No. But much like he did with the Crimea Peninsula back in 2014, he has now declared 2 separatist provinces of Ukraine to be independent. Well, the last time he did that with Crimea, it wasn't long after that the Russian parliament or whatnot officially made Crimea part of the Russian Empire. And then, yesterday, Vladimir Putin claimed that the Ukraine was historically part of Russia, not a sovereign nation, and basically said that since it used to be part of the USSR, it's still Russian. Not to mention, let's not even start to talk about the fact that Ukraine has been an independent nation since the USSR, was an independent nation before the USSR. Yet, making this claim shows exactly what Vladimir Putin's plan is. Vladimir Putin's plan is to go through and reconstitute the Soviet Union. He wants to recreate those buffer states that he had before, or that the Soviet Union had back, I guess, when he would have been a KGB spy. But here's the thing. 1, it's unnecessary. 2, none of the people around him pose him a threat. Do you really want to tell me that Ukraine poses a threat to Russia? Have you seen the difference in the number of missiles, the number of military personnel, the number of fighter jets, the number of tanks? Oh yeah, and let's talk about the 6,000 nuclear warheads possessed by the Russian army. So yeah, I'm sure anybody around Russia is a huge threat to the Russian Empire and to the Russian dictator. In fact, NATO is the only threat. And that's only because we're part of it. And we have some 5,000, 4,000, 5,000 nuclear weapons ready to go. And that is what Russia is complaining about. That's what they're being all crybabies about. The fact that NATO wants to defend places in Europe against Russian aggression, against exactly what is taking place in Russia or in Ukraine right this moment. So after deeming these areas independent nations, the Russian military was ordered by Vladimir Putin to invade these areas of Ukraine for peacekeeping purposes, claiming once again that Ukraine was the aggressor and was the problem all along. But Ukraine has tried their best dealing with these breakaway provinces and not fighting them directly and not trying to start a broader conflict with Russia. These breakaway provinces aren't new. It's been a war that's been going on, or like a kind of a quiet war that's been going on for almost, I think since 2015? Since around the same time as them taking Crimea? It's been going on. Ukraine has not escalated anything. In fact, they have troops there that are getting shot at that don't return fire most of the time. Because they don't want to provoke a bigger conflict. And let's talk about the propaganda machine from the Russian people, or the Russian government there. Separatists, controlled and run by the Russian military, have been pushing this notion that Ukraine is about to launch a massive attack into these areas, into these breakaway provinces. They showed a video of people being evacuated in a hurried fashion because Ukraine was about to invade these people and kill them all. Turns out that it was all staged. That all of it was staged. From their comments to what took place to the evacuations and everything. Why do I say that? Because the metadata shows that it was filmed days, if not a week in advance of them posting it. Now, if almost a week ago Ukraine was about to invade these areas, don't you think they would have put that out immediately if it was real? Now, in my previous video on Ukraine and Russia, I was like, should the Americans get involved? Because I'm very much anti-war. I don't support the idea of war for war's sake. I think diplomacy should always be your first attempt. Always. But unfortunately, I've come to this conclusion that we have to do something. Because if we let Russia take these breakaway provinces from Ukraine, next year he takes a few more areas, a little more land every year? Or does he come through and pull a Germany and just run roughshod over the entire, area? We did appeasement once. We did it with Germany, as I mentioned. Oh, they only took this country. Oh, they only took Poland. Oh, they only did this. They only did that. And then 6 million Jews died. It was reported yesterday that there is a list of hundreds, if not thousands, of Ukrainians that the Russian military plans to either put in encampments or murder because they are dissidents of the Russian government. They're Ukrainian citizens that don't agree with Russia, who don't want Russia running the politics of their nation. Now, Ukraine has had a tense existence at times, right? And living right next to Russia cannot be a fun thing to deal with on a daily basis. And tell me again how Ukraine is the aggressor when they are almost entirely surrounded by Russia. From their ships and their submarines in the Black Sea to all around their border, all the way into Belarus, where the Russians and the Belarus military are holding military drills where they're shooting interballistic missiles at each other, or in the air, kind of in the direction of Ukraine. So I think we have to do something. I don't support what Joe Biden has done. I don't believe he is handling this very well. I like the fact that he's out front with it, that he's talking about it, that he's putting it out there on Front Street. I like that. But what I don't like is the fact that he's like, severe sanctions. We're going to give severe sanctions to the Russians. But the sanctions they rolled out yesterday were minor and will actually have no effect on what happens in Ukraine. If you want sanctions to work in this case, they need to be strong, and they need to be crippling to the military and to the funding of that military of the Russian dictator, Vladimir Putin. Now, I'm going to repeat something that I've said for decades. The Russians are not, and they never have been, and they never will be, our friends. They will never be, and they have never been, the friends of Ukraine. When they were the Soviet Union, they treated these buffer states, as some refer to them as, like trash. They ruled them with an iron fist. If you disagreed, you were shot. And Vladimir Putin wants to recreate that same situation. But I can tell you right now, if the world does not stand up to Vladimir Putin right now, we will see the reconstruction of the Soviet Union over the next decade. Because he's not going to stop at Ukraine. He's already had a test run when he invaded Georgia. He knows what to expect from the international community. He knows exactly what's going to happen. He tested it again with Crimea. The international community said, we don't care. Invade a sovereign country. Because we don't want a bigger conflict. Let Russia do what they want because we don't want a bigger conflict. The problem is, one of these days we're going to have a bigger conflict. And it's going to be too late. Russia will have already strategically placed itself within Europe to take over the entirety of it. Or at least as far as they can get. To the people of Ukraine, I don't know what to say. I don't know what's going to happen. All I can say is I hope y'all are safe, and I hope this doesn't turn into bloodshed. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'll see you down the road.